Pew! God, I hope everything's normal in my background. I feel like every streamer has probably said that. Alright, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. And then we're gonna fire off live stage. Alright, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm gonna kick him out in just a sec. Alright, you gotta go. Nope, you have to go. Sorry about that. Be good. I love that I can start a stream by basically banishing this animal. Poor buddy. That kind of worked out, that my thumbnail. This hey, Compapato, how are you doing? I am I'm doing well. Let me know if the audio is okay, by the way. Looks like my webcam is either horrendously dirty or yeah, that's actually very strange. Anyway. I'm very good at streaming. Yeah, this is super weird. Oh well. Yeah, I'm doing well. I just came back from Vancouver Retro Game Expo, and the band performed. We literally got back today, and then I just filmed a music video, so we've got to work on that. And I'm gonna do my best. I'll probably put on headphones right now so that I can make sure I'm listening properly. And let's see. But yeah, how's everyone's Sunday? I'm gonna continue to edit here, but I also want to make sure I've explained what I've done. Yeah, today we're gonna be editing a music video that I filmed both a little bit today and a little bit a few days ago, and the music I've been working on earlier this week before the concert. But yeah, it's a really fun music video. I won't talk about the source of it too much because it is a spoiler song, but I personally don't view this as a spoiler song because the game isn't really much of a story, and I don't know, the song isn't really revealing any plot details. So hopefully that's okay. If people are worried about that, there's your warning, but otherwise it's a metal video. It's me playing guitar. My last video was much more creative, but hey, the section it came from was also much more creative, so I think that's kind of fair. But yeah, in any case, we're going to get started. I have a lot of clips here, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and do something, and I'll explain what I'm doing in just a moment. But I have a bunch of footage, and I wanted to make sure that we have the correct formats when it comes to like widescreen, frame rates, and all those things. So obviously you can see here we're in DaVinci Resolve, a program I've been using a little bit more, and it's also nice to stream this because I know a lot of people are using this, which is a really big motivator for me, just so that I have that kind of, you know, as an option here. And then, yeah, I'm just going to kind of fire off when it comes to editing because I like to be able to share some of these VODs in the future. So yeah, we're in DaVinci Resolve. This is really close to the default screen. I'm in Media. DaVinci Resolve has these different tabs, so each one is for a different purpose of editing. So what I did is I've taken, I right-click in this little area, and I create bins. I think this is one of the most important things you should do. I'm using the same project as my last video I made, which thank you again for, like, I think it's at 3,000 views as of the stream, which is incredible for me. But more importantly, a lot of people just shared that they liked it a lot and that they were very impressed, which is awesome. So yeah, I've got all my footage. I shot this on my Sony a7S III. I used Atomos Ninja. It's shot in S-Log3 color space, which just means it's flat. It doesn't have a lot of colors baked into it. It has more space for me to manipulate, which is good because I'm going to manipulate the hell out of this. Yeah, we have all this footage here, and a lot of people, when they start editing, or, you know, even for me for years, they'll take all the clips and they'll put it in a timeline, which is basically just a visual way to see your entire music video, right? So 0 seconds all the way to however much footage you have, and then normally we take the song, which I need to import the song. I'm going to put it in the footage folder and explain why in a sec. You'll take your song, you'll line up your clips, and you'll start slicing and putting your favorite shots and angles and cut around to try and make it look interesting. And there's a lot more to it than just that. And that's kind of the crux of the issue. And there's been a really great discussion amongst musician friends that I'm going to ramble on about until someone chats. But I think it's a really important discussion to have doing this 15 years later. And I'm also going to put the chat in the stream real quick because I know some people like to have that available. Let me make sure I have that URL. And I think that should work. Test. Okay, cool. That did nothing. Okay, so let's do that. That might have worked. There we go. Cool. Okay. So yeah, if you're watching this in the future or whatever, that should make it easier. But yeah, a lot of people have been talking about what's the validity of music videos and like how much effort is going into them. And like many things, I kind of like test that. I'm like, all right, let's work backwards here. Like, are you making your best music videos? Are you working the most efficiently? Are we doing things in a way that artistically matters most? You know, a lot of things that we do, we're just doing because someone else told us to do that, or that was like in our mind the default. We don't change things up. So what I'm going to do is called multicam editing. It's a really useful process done in modern editing and just in general, where you have the same performance, in our case a music video, so the same song but many angles and aspects that line up with that music, and then we can just kind of choose our favorite shots. It's very important for like editing live performances, but it's a tool that I use to make sure my music comes out in under, you know, a month. So what we'll do is we'll take all of our clips where I performed on top of the music, and then we'll add our music layer, and then we're going to go to create new multicam. And then here is where it's very important in DaVinci Resolve to get this right. And hopefully I'm not going to mess this up. But basically we want to make a new timeline, kind of like just a little bundle of clips all together, and line it up. So we need to make sure that the frame rate is the same, which is 23.976 for this music video in particular. And then we're going to do, for angle sync, which is how it knows to sync, we're going to use sound. And then for the channel, or like the audio channels it needs to know, we're going to use the mix, which just means the mix down of everything, instead of like one particular feed, which actually is something you could do to get it perfect, but we don't need to do that. And then I'm going to use clip name because I actually name my clips. Some people may not, but I like that. And then we'll hit create and see how good a job it does. It may not do amazing, but it should do something. And it looks like it actually nailed it perfectly. The rare times it's worked out that way, it means that I did my setup right, which is also nice. So yeah, I did all that. And now we have this multicam here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open this up and kind of check out what's going on here. And we're going to assume it's perfect. It may not be, but we're going to assume it's perfect. And then, yeah, like I think I screwed up here and I restarted. So a lot of those situations will come up where you're performing, and especially if you film by yourself, this is going to happen all the time. And yeah, maybe you'll need to like go back and try again, or something messed up, or your cat walked in and messed up everything in your life. So we're gonna go all the way to here where the music starts, and then I'm just gonna hit a marker here. And in Premiere, one of the few things that I want to point out Premiere does that I like more is that this marker will show up anywhere I put the multicam, and that's gonna be important for the next step. But otherwise, we only need the audio from my mastered music. So we're gonna hit that as a solo, and then I'm gonna go back to this main timeline. I'm gonna rename that to like timeline BK for Black Knife, the name of the song. And then this bigger timeline, they're all just like little folders, so you know, they all have layers, and we're gonna take the multicam, put it in here, because that's what has all of our clips lined up. And now we have everything we need to cut the video. Now again, we're not gonna color the video, we're not gonna add effects, we're just gonna do a cut. And what I like about this is it's a very cyclical way of editing, and you'll be able to get the gist of your ideas across. And this is actually important for me because I'm such an improviser. I need to make sure I picked an angle that showcases my performance well. Hey, Ollie. Yeah, I was gonna say it must be super late, but wishing you well. Hope you're doing all right, and hope you have a nice sleep. It's always good to see your face. So the next step we're gonna do here is we're gonna make sure we can actually kind of edit the video together. I'm gonna make sure I'm not listening to it super loud. It shouldn't be too loud, but I want to make sure I'm not hurting anyone's ears, especially because this is meant to be kind of a helpful stream and not just, you know, listening to the music video at full volume. So what we'll do is we'll double click this, and now you can actually see all the different angles that I have for this performance. And now we're going to choose the ones that kind of match the vibe or like kind of showcase it well. And when I double click it, and you can hit this button here, this is the single viewer mode. This will toggle my second window here, so that way I can kind of see all the different angles when I go to multicam. And then we also need to make sure like we're at the section of the video where the music begins, which is way over here, and my marker doesn't show up. That was the thing I was complaining about. Okay, anyway, we're gonna scroll right to the beginning. My personal tip is start your song for your YouTube videos ideally when the action begins. If you have long, lengthy intros in metal, you know, some people grow impatient, but if they go on Spotify, maybe you'll have like the full version there anyway. Just a little thing I've thought about here and there. Anyway, this song begins with like a crescendo, very synthy kind of effect. And then now we're listening to the camera audio, so that's probably something I want to resolve real quick. Resolve. So let's open the multicam real quick, and I think I'm just going to mute everything. Can I really not? Oh, they're all paired, which means that they're just making this complex. Just means that if you mute the video, meaning you hide your video clip, it's also going to not show or play back the music, which is why I thought this would work. But let's go back to our multicam. Okay, cool. And then I also don't like my audio getting split at the same time. That's another thing that I messed up on. So let's fix that. Okay, so if I double click this and then I go to multicam editing, I'm going to do the video only here, and that way it should stop cutting that. Oh, and it should also have switched. Here, it has switched the audio, and that we need to be explicit about. So now, and here, I'm kind of confused why I don't have my rhythm neck angle yet. So let's go fix that. And I think that's kind of like, again, a raw experience kind of situation there. Hello, Glenn. How are you doing? So yeah, let's make sure we have our bridge angle, neck, rhythm neck. Yeah, I'm not sure why the rhythm neck is set so far back. So let's see if I screwed up my syncing here real quick. And hopefully we can figure that out. Alpaca! I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming by. How are you doing? Let's see. Where do I start playing? Oh, wait. Is this... I might have screwed up filming one of these angles. God, I hope I don't have to redo that one. This is why there's so many also, you might have picked up on. So let's see, what did I do here? Doing good, that's always good. Yeah, this is very odd to me. I think something screwed up here with how much stuff I filmed, so I may have to go back and film this, which means I'll probably end up just doing this tomorrow. But we'll still keep streaming and editing. But yeah, I just got back from Vancouver. We just played a concert, well, a con, but we played a show there, and that's our 4th show of the year, so feels pretty good for the most part. Alright, I think, yeah, I guess we'll still keep rolling. So, again, I'm doing multicam editing here. Sometimes I have, like, just a moment of, not checking if I film stuff. It looks like, I guess, I only filmed the ending segments of some clips. Actually, why don't I just check here? Did I do, oh, that's my lead guitar. Huh. And I guess that's all of my clips then. It's very peculiar. Oh, but I do have my rhythm front. Okay. Yeah. This is very fascinating to me, like rewatching what I did, and then I left for a con, so I did stop halfway. That's probably where I made a mistake. You still archetype Nolly X for this? I don't really have a good gear list of what I use. I'm gonna go ahead and say like Nolly X is on some of it, but I use an Axfax. I'll use archetype plenty. I try not to like overly sell what I'm using because at this point I think I like just jump between stuff, and yeah, I would say like the rhythm guitars are probably archetype Nolly X, and then the leads are gonna jump between different programs or actual my hardware. But yeah, I like don't often remember, which is kind of a bummer. Like I used to actually really take a lot of pride of making weird tones and stuff, but now it's like I don't know. Archetype stuff is like what I'm using just because I like the default sounds quite a lot, but I also don't want people to think that that's like the best program, get it? Because it's not. It's just one of many, and the tone really comes from, you know, a lot of mixed things too. I've heard people use way cheaper programs to sound way better than a lot of archetype stuff, and there's not a lot of personality in, you know, some of these digital amp choices anymore. So yeah. All that to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm using Nolly. Okay, and now I'll probably jump between this. Yeah, this is a bummer because I'm like, I've got better angles that I'm gonna have to reshoot here. Maybe I'll just shoot them after this stream. And I'll just cut to that. That's a bummer though. And that, So every time you see a black, that's gonna be a placeholder. And then yeah. And then this is a really cool example of like interesting editing to match the music, because I'm actually going to try to do something here. I'm going to try to do some effects that match the sound design that I went for here. So, but on the bright side, what's cool is when you do stuff like this, you get to kind of play around with like covering up any like odd inconsistencies with your performance that, like, when you were faking it for the video, you might not have been able to pull off. And I think that's always fun. But yeah, I am kind of annoyed that I didn't think to record, I guess, a little more rhythm guitar for y'all, so sorry about that. Let's keep going. And then yeah, if you hold Alt, you can switch the angles just on something you've already cut, which is nice. So maybe we'll do like one of these. And then, yeah, I always like to kind of cover up little hesitation type moments and stuff. Oh, and there's the rhythm guitar. Except I think that thing was screwed up the entire way, so I'll probably never cut to that. So we'll have like... Come on. Yeah, and there's like a drum solo here, so it's like... It's more motivating to cut to something else, especially because it's a digital drum kit. Oof. I might have to make proxies before I stream next time. This might have been a little too ambitious. Yeah, let me see if I can close out some stuff, but... Yeah, let's see if we can pull this off again, because I really want to keep being able to stream and share some of like the workflows I do. And then we'll cut to like a neck shot. Oof. Yeah, you know what? This is kind of too rough, and I do need a reshoot. So I'm probably just going to cut it here. And if I've got a little bit more time in that evening, I might go for that. But apologies. I think it's better I stream something that's watchable than like a stutter fest. A couple free more trials for neural plugins. Hey, that's great. I mean, like, try them all. My thing, and I don't want to like sound like I don't like neural DSP, because if they sponsor me, then I'll totally support it. But they use a lot of influencers, and they use a lot of similar sounding artists who play in similar genres. So at the end of the day, I feel like there are cheaper options that sound just as good that people should really get on with, instead of just one company that uses iLok and kind of keeps people from software. But I realize I also own like 3 of their softwares, and I like them too. So if you find one that works, use it. But there's definitely going to be more and more competitors, which is healthy. It'll make Neural step it up even more. And yeah, again, like, a lot of people are just doing like this generic modern metal influencer thing. And then if you wanted to do anything bluesy, jazzy, any sort of influence, like vintage rock amps and stuff, it's not interesting to the masses because of influencing. So like, you may not see this company or a lot of companies do that, you know, or support that style of music as much. And that to me is kind of where it's like, there's going to be a disconnect, I guess, which is kind of a bummer. That being said, of course, I should stream music at this point and start talking about amps. But yeah, whatever works. And I definitely love that you can try out a lot more things than when I started, where you had like Pod Farm and Guitar Rig, and that was about it. Not many people could afford like real amps and microphones, and even now, I don't know if that's still cheaper, so it's kind of tricky. But in any case, I don't think I can keep streaming, so I'm gonna switch gears to filming a little bit more, and then hopefully I'll get this video done. I might continue streaming in just a bit. But thanks for watching again. I'll post some updates in the Discord. More importantly, again, I'm streaming largely because of the discussion I've been having with musicians about just folks who are wanting to make stuff and not sure how, or they're taking so long that they're more worried about, you know, like how to like hone that hour in time better so that they're, you know, the quality will show. So again, I'm an open book. Shoot me questions, or bring it up in our Discord. I want to create a community around helping each other make stuff.